Alrighty, hello peoples. I figured I would start my videos with an introduction of my old bedroom, which is where I have all my dolls currently stored at. I am definitely one of those collectors who likes to keep their dolls on display. Keep in mind that I've been in the hobby since about 2006. And I had a good job back in the day and still lived at home, and, well, I collected a lot of dolls in that time period. You'll have to excuse the thundering in the background if it comes up on the microphone because it is raining at this point in time. So I figured I would start off by showing off, well, what is probably the majority of my collection. My parents and my brother, we custom designed the shelving units in my bedroom so that I could pretty much display all my dolls. I'm the type of person who likes to see them and be able to play with them and change their clothes whenever the mood pretty much hits me. So this was my best solution to display them. I don't like keeping them in boxes. 90% of my collection is probably pre-loved or pre-owned, meaning I bought them used from other people. So some of them didn't even come with their box when I bought them, or they didn't have their certificate, or vice versa. All that lovely fun stuff. As you can see, I also collected many different kinds of things. I'm kind of one of those people who collected anything that tickled my fancy at whatever point. So, yeah, so I have a varied collection of lots and lots of stuff. I have pretty much all my original My Little Ponies that I had from when I was a kid, plus a few that I've collected over the past few years just because nostalgia hit me and I felt like it. Also on display is my mother's original Barbie and Ken from when she was, you know, a kid. Those two are kind of special to me. They're the two on the left. Barbie on the right is a silk stone, which I thought was really interesting. They're made of like resin or something like that, so they're not plastic like Barbie. They're not considered the play line. They are collector's edition. The dress she's wearing is part of the original Barbie my mother had, along with this Barbie carrying case. So basically that's to show you that I collect a whole wide range of figures and dolls and toys and whatever. So I guess I will come over here to these CD cases, which I call the domain of the tinies. It's where I keep all my little tiny BJDs, ball jointed dolls for those who are not familiar with them. It's basically a little place that I keep them and keep some of their little accessories and things like that. I like the small ones because they fit anywhere and generally don't take up any room, and usually they are beyond adorable. A little close-up. So yeah, tinies. I recently got into Blythe, so I have a decent Blythe collection. Most of them are custom. I tend to prefer the custom Blythe over the blanks. I do have one or two that are still stock, which would be Wendy Weekender there in the middle with the sunglasses. I have two middies, which are the two little ones. One official petite, which is the one in the pink dress and hat, and two of the littlest Pet Shop petites. So at one point I will probably do a Blythe review, maybe not on all of them, unless people are super duper curious and request it. This section here in my dresser is my Obitsu slash random cute fashion doll slash whatever. I have 2 Momokos back there. Mostly Obitsu. I do have 2 or 3 resin BJDs in there, which would be my soul doll Uyo. And I have a soul doll, or Soom Nanad. It's a Soom Uyo and a Soom Nanad. And the rest of them are mostly Obitsus. I do enjoy the Obitsus. They are super posable, really fun. When they have the magnets in their feet, you can do pretty much anything with them. I have a couple of Pure Nemos. I've got 2 of the little Pure Nemo bodies. I forget what they're called right now. And I have no heads for them because I never found any heads that would work for them. Still on the search for that. So, this is the beginning of the BJDs. Most of my collection is girls. I don't know why I don't what they call bond with the boy dolls too much, even though the first BJD that I had was a boy. And I'll talk about him in another video. I have lots of MSDs. I love the MSD size. It's like the perfect size between Yos, which are tiny and adorable, but not as tiny as the tinies that were on the other side of the room. And SDs, which are big, awesome, beautiful, lovely to play with, great to handle, but too big for transporting and enjoying and taking to conventions and meetups and stuff like that. I do have a few artist dolls. Here are 2 of my Batchix dolls, her mini machinas. And I have a Cerise doll. I don't remember her name right off the top of my hat, but she's really pretty. I have an artist cast of Lagoon from Batchix, which is that tan little girl in the middle there with the pink shirt. I have one of the dolls me and my friends in the Dolly Circle affectionately called the Big Butts and Big Heads. Super fun. It's a Blythe thing, I think, for people to like them. If they like Blythe, they automatically like those. Let's see. Like I said, all my dolls are on display at all times. So as you can see, they probably do at some point. They yellow, they get old, they get nicks and things like that, but I don't care. I enjoy the dolls for what they are. They're to be played with, they're to be enjoyed. So that's pretty much where I stand on that. I don't mind if they're yellow, try to work with it. Sometimes I give them OxyClean baths to get rid of the yellowing. But pretty much I can't stand to see them boxed. If I had them all in boxes, I'd be living in a room full of boxes. I have the 2 Doll Zone dolls. The flowers, which never gotten around to painting them. I think I'm a little intimidated by painting them. I have a couple of the big Obitsus, which I believe this is the 50 centimeter or the 55 centimeter girl. I have another one in my house currently. Say hello to Cupie. Rescued those girls from an antique store. My Soom Rosette, which was the last acquisition. Some Obitsu pieces. Some of the new Soom Tinies. And then what was I going to show you? I was going to show you, I have a couple of little fees. A couple of Soom dolls. And behind my little guys here, my Yos, I have a small collection of figmas that are hiding back there. A couple of them are figmas, a couple of them are just really old release statues. Say hello to Drossel, I love Drossel. I have my lone pull-up that has survived not being sold. She was my first, and I love her. She hasn't gone anywhere. My one Monster High. I love Studio Ghibli, so there's Totoro. And let's see. I also love the Volks DD2s. So I have 3 of them. The guy up there is another Obitsu on one of the original bodies with a male torso. and one of my original companies that I fell in love with was the Lutz Delft line, so I have plenty of them. I have a soft spot for them. So I do have several sculpts, especially the Nanuris. The Nanuris are like my favorite of all. So another circle. I do collect kimono. This is a yukata that a friend of mine made on my bed, if you excuse my camera being in the way. That is also an original signed kimono from Japan that I bought at a convention last year. My books, art books, collection. My Little Ponies again. And my Barbie stuff. And that's about it. So I figured I'd give you this overview so that you guys and girls and anyone else who's watching can know where I'm coming from when I do these reviews. I have more Figmas that I ordered back before I got married and before I moved that are still new in box, so I haven't even unboxed them. So for my reviews, they will probably be unboxed for the first time for me to enjoy them. So that might be actually really fun because I kind of lost touch with the hobby. Down here I have all my supplies, like face-up supplies. I do my own face-ups. My eyes, my spare BJD parts like spare hands, my art supplies because I am a freelance artist on the side, and then I have lots and lots of BJD clothes and accessories. So as you can see, I collect lots of stuff. I do not live here anymore, so my parents are nice enough to allow me to keep my dolls on display out of the way, out of harm's way, because currently where I live is too small to bring my collection with me. So I get to come and go as I please and bring home whoever I want and play with whoever I want, and then I bring them back and alternate because that's the only way you can play with a collection this big. I have tried parting ways with some of them, but the market is kind of soft right now, so at this point I feel it's better just to play with them, enjoy them, instead of trying to sell them. I also collect kokeshi, which you can kind of see behind the bald Blythe up there who is waiting for hair. They are traditional Japanese wooden dolls, and they're really cool. I like them. I have a couple at the house. I have one that's really big. It's a big knotter, so her head moves. So yeah, this is probably longer than I intended, and you've seen everything already. So I guess I will probably end this video here, and I'll probably do a proper introduction video where you can actually see me even though I don't like being on camera. And then I will start my reviews probably with Ringo, my first doll, a 60 centimeter Delft Nanuri 06. So with that being said, I am going to sign off. Feel free to subscribe if you feel so inclined to be entertained by my whatever you want to call it, my reviews, I guess. Haven't quite found a name for them. Say hello to Cassette. She's my first, or Odette, my first Blythe. Some artwork. I do collect artwork from my friends and family. And hopefully you'll be seeing and hearing from me soon. So yeah, I shall talk to you guys sooner or later. Alright, bye.